That's true.
I think we're gonna switch up today. I think you should be in charge of YouTube and I'll be in charge of Facebook.
I can do that.
That's definitely a possibility.
Um,
Oh, they can't hear us. They can't hear me.
Hey everyone.
hey guys. Are you? You already have the link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop it in the event.
Ooh, drop it. Go ahead and drop it in the event.
I'll drop that.
How about this? Drop it in the event, and then we'll have it in the event.
I haven't checked the event. This is so different than what it usually looks like.
Oh, you have to click on the actual event itself.
Oh,
Yeah. It was weird. That happened yesterday.
look at that!
Oh.
923 responses.
Bert, we gotta start changing these
The titles.
the titles.
What does it say?
It says it works because it's Saturday morning coffee chat, but it says join us as we sip coffee and maybe give some away. Shh.
Oh, that's from
Yeah, it's from last week.
last week. Can we edit the?
Yeah, we can, but
Cool.
I'll do it. But it's gonna be like that way on YouTube, so you have to go edit it on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Every week, every time we do restream, we get that messed up description.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to fix that.
Alrighty, that is changed.
Oh my goodness.
No giveaways today, unfortunately, but we do have a pretty exciting. We have a pretty exciting inside joke to share with everyone, which is always just a joy. Did you go ahead and change the name on YouTube?
Not yet.
Cool. Can you guys hear the lo-fi, by the way? I doubt you guys can. It doesn't really make sense if you could.
They just take this out of the description. What did you change the name to?
I just took it out, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
Alrighty.
Editing live videos in YouTube. Pretty cool.
Oh, I don't
Technology's
want that. I
amazing.
want to be able to see I want to be able to see the chat.
I don't know if you guys can hear this lo-fi right now, but it's banging today.
If we have ideas for giveaways, can we email you? You can.
Of course you can.
You can always email us.
Email us about anything.
I would email support at the Heroes Journal. John has made our email response time a lot better.
Yeah, big shout out to John.
Let's probably stop the chill hop.
What is up?
No one can really hear it.
Brandon from YouTube in April. Good afternoon on the East Coast.
Oh yeah. Our general audio is really quiet too. We have that all the way turned up. We just have to talk louder, I guess.
How's the audio on YouTube? If the YouTube crowd wants to give me some love.
Yeah, we actually we got some feedback that our overall audio is
That's
pretty
weird.
quiet. We try to yell at the screen. I mean, we're actually yelling right now, so maybe we need to turn the mixer up or something like that. I don't know. I'm just using words that I've heard before. But anyways. Today I get to show an inside joke that could only live here on the Saturday morning live stream. I just moved out of focus. There we go.
Also, Brandon on YouTube says the audio is fine.
Oh, cool. Great. I can actually hear Nick today, so that's good.
Is this like is this frame off on OBS? Do you see that?
Does it look? It doesn't look weird on over here. Oh yeah. Oh
If you
yeah.
look at your screen, we will we will gradually slide over just a little bit.
And down a little bit. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Stay Struce.
Susan Struce. Can we pour the coffee?
Yes, but
yeah. Talk about this thing that we got in the mail yesterday.
So yesterday in the mail, we received a mug from Jimmy, also known as James,
Oh yeah.
but most affectionately referred to as Shimmy James.
Are we sure it was from him,
I assume,
or was it from?
because I think
John?
this is a picture of him.
Yeah, but it's a publicly available picture of him.
It's true.
Who made this?
Yeah, we're assuming it was Shimmy James Blue.
I think it may have been John.
I don't know. Was it?
So the thing I know about John is he loves to reincorporate inside jokes.
It's true, but
Not only did he send us the Spill the Beans board
It's
game,
true.
he
They
also
got here the same day too.
exactly. I don't know, John. If you're here, fess up, or Jimmy James.
Jimmy is here as well.
You know, you gotta let us know. Was it you? Was it not?
But the hashtag is the best part, and it's really hard to read because it's
Yeah.
like 97 letters. But it says should have been on a shapes on mugs mug, but you said probably not. Hashtag savage.
Feels
So-
like John to me.
I could have done
Have
it
they?
before the live stream ended last week. He did do it. Jimmy did it.
Oh my!
Jimmy did it.
Jimmy is
Well,
the killer.
Well, Jimmy, guess
Wait,
what I'm drinking out of
if you
today?
show it to the camera, so
Yeah,
people
one
see it, the whole thing. Man, we really got to figure out a way to get stuff focused. It says Shimmy James Blue. It's amazing. It also has his profile picture. I think that's your profile picture, Jimmy. But it's only half of his. It's like, you know, half his face.
And then the handle's blue and the inside's blue.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a nod there, but you know, it's pretty cheese, but we're definitely gonna use it because we love mugs. It's a good mug too. It's a big one, you know.
I think they actually worked in cahoots. I think John and Jimmy worked in cahoots.
I see. That's better.
A lot of cahoots. So the coffee today is from Cambridge, Massachusetts,
Oh yeah.
from the eastern seaboard. We currently live over on the western seaboard, and this coffee is from, the eastern seaboard.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone from the East Coast is drinking coffee right now, just know that we're tasting the coast, the other
Oh, yeah.
coast.
Where are you guys from? We haven't asked that in a long time.
Yeah, we know a few.
Yeah, I mean, we do. I think we know a few places from. Wow, I think we know a few people and where they're from, but not everyone. And plus, we've got a lot of new viewers, guys. We had 130 individuals on this live stream yesterday, just on Facebook, which was really cool. Sure. I mean, were they only here for the giveaway? Probably, but I mean, you know, the rest of you guys were just here, and that means a lot to us.
We had a captive audience. We made sure to give away stuff at the end, so they had to listen the whole time.
We knew what we had.
Yeah, we knew what we had.
Brandon's from Michigan. What part of Michigan, Brandon? As if I know. Well, I only ask because I know Kyle knows a little bit about Michigan, and I know our artist, Ryan, is also from Michigan.
It's true. My stepmom is just from just outside of Detroit, and then I've also been to Petoskey.
Petoskey.
Well, but in order to get to Petoskey, we drove from Flint to Petoskey, so I drove all the way up. So I got to see the freeway in Michigan.
I've never spent time in Michigan, but I've heard good things. I've also heard really good things about Ohio.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like Ohio is kind of like a low-key, really cool place. Like, I feel like I know a lot of people that
Swing state.
Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of people. Like, I feel like Ohio's kind of on the up and up in the weird way. I always hear about cool stuff going on in Ohio for some reason. It's been on my mind recently. Okay, I got to catch up. So April used to be in North Carolina, moved to Massachusetts, and before that was in California. So she's kind of been all over the place. How's North Carolina? Brennan says Lansing area, but born and raised in Detroit.
Represent.
You know my only association with Detroit? I bet you can guess it.
There's two options. There's either M&M or Shinola.
It's Shinola.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to hear it from a local, or at least someone who grew up there. And Brandon, if you know what Shinola is, I want to hear your take on it. Is it something that is kind of like a hometown hero, or is it something that people are like, whatever? I want to know. April just goes warm. That's how North Carolina is. Chris Diaz is in Maine.
Maine.
Yeah.
We just sent some journals to Maine.
We did. Wait, was that?
Yeah, so we had a school.
Right.
This is actually a really great story. We had a school in Maine, like the furthest part of Maine. I think it's called like Jonestown or something like that.
Oh, that's right. my
Johnston or something like that. Something along those lines. And they did fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
That
That was cool.
the art class made an art book and then did fundraising, sold this book so that they could buy Heroes journals. I remember when they initially asked, I was like 20% off for the volume that they had, but we ended up giving them 30% off because that was incredibly touching.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Someone's gonna fundraise for our journal. That's
Right?
Like,
That was insane.
who
That was a
thought-
weird out of body experience.
I never thought that would happen. But yeah, when we looked on the map, like at their location, it felt very remote, and it felt like the farthest you could possibly get away from us. Other
It's
than,
true.
like, Florida, I think, is Maine farther away from us than Florida?
I think Florida is,
Oh, okay.
but I would say that Maine is probably second.
We're up in like Seattle, so up in the upper left, tucked in there.
I got a lot over here. I got
All right, go
I
ahead.
got 32 people over here, and a lot of people are throwing out geographical locations.
Where we got? Where we got?
Alrighty, we have Massachusetts. Angela Leach's sister lives in Cambridge, which is where the coffee's from today. I live about 13 miles from California and Oregon. Oh, are you in Klamath Falls by chance? Or yeah, Klamath Falls is the one right on the border. Or is that called like Skyview? Maybe that's the. I had a friend who lived in that area. Murphy was from there, from college.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Murphy was from that area. Anyways, Lauren's from Connecticut. How does that coffee maker work? This is a Chemex. So you put a paper coffee filter, you put the beans in there, and then you pour the coffee over the beans. It goes
Yeah.
through. It makes it just a delicious cup of coffee.
Is it a pour over or is it technically just a big pour over?
Yeah, it's just a pour over. It's a
Yeah.
pour over type.
It's called a pour over. It had its own filters, and the coffee is really good. I recommend getting a Chemex. It's like a good way to drink really good coffee for not a lot
Yeah.
of money.
It's true.
You do have to spend money on good coffee
That is
and
also.
filters, but you can make some good coffee.
We got Nicole from Tigard, Michelle from the Jersey Shore. What brand of coffee? I think it was called like Broadsheet, I think is the name of it. Yeah. Tanya's Wyoming. We got Meredith from Nevada.
This is a lot. Like one person.
Amy
every
from
state.
Woburn, Massachusetts. Mackenzie from Albany, New York.
All right.
Melissa's in Northwest Iowa. Some of these we know. If you ever want to go to Crater Lake, you can stay with us. That's what Angela said. So
I've never been to Crater Lake. I always wanted to go.
Reem is from Florida, but originally overseas.
It's exciting.
Jimmy said, I know people from Okemos. I don't know where Okemos is. I might even said that wrong. So that's also a possibility. Susan's from Aurora of Wayne's World. Fame around here.
Wow.
Jimmy from South Carolina. Moved to London. Then to Texas.
What?
Until I can go back to London.
Wow.
Jimmy's been all over the place. Probably all those. That's probably where Mario Kart's taken him.
I didn't realize he was a mad lad, a proper mad lad.
Joseph's from Pennsylvania. What time is it here? It is 10:11. When I think of Michigan, I think of Polar Express, Nicole.
Gotcha. By the way, so I asked Brandon from Michigan, or really from Detroit, about his opinion of a company that's based there, Shinola. He didn't even know who they were. So I don't know if that tells you a lot, but yep.
We have story time from Angela.
Okay.
So there's a really cool person named Cicely King in Ohio. She started doing this really cool project, and she still does it from time to time, where she puts up huge sheets with sayings like "You are enough" and hangs them over overpasses. She did it in response to LGBTQ depression and suicides in the news. You should look her up. That sounds great. That's the kind of positivity the world needs right there. Huxley, Iowa, Alyssa said. What about Hometown Heroes? I missed the beginning. What about? Did we say something about Hometown Heroes? Oh,
I said
Shinola.
Shinola is a hometown
Gotcha.
hero. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jonesport. That's what it was.
What's the Magic Month side quest today? I feel like I should know that, but I don't.
Angela said, "OMG, yes, Klamath Falls. How do you even know where we are?" So I actually have two friends from Klamath Falls. One friend actually from Klamath Falls went to I think it's called Union. Didn't go to Union. Went to Triad High School or something like that. She was on my cross country team in college, And then I had another friend that lived south of Klamath Falls, right on the border. I think it was called Skyview, or maybe that was the high school he went to. I don't know why I know everyone's high school's names, but anyways, that's the story. Cleveland, Ohio, representing Christopher. Neela said neighboring Oregon. We got a lot of people. Independence, Missouri. Is MO Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Wait, West Virginia. So this is crazy. West Virginia was the only state that was not represented in the purple release. Remember that?
Was it really?
Yeah.
I remember there being one. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was West Virginia.
So what does that mean? That means that everyone in the United States, except for the state of West Virginia,
One person in every state in the United States except for West Virginia participated in the purple release.
at least one person.
At least one.
We didn't find one person in every state. I forgot about that. That's crazy. Dude, I can't wait to see what our Kickstarter turnout is. Like after the month, I'm excited to see. Because here's the thing. We're doing something we've never done before.
Well, we have done it before.
That's fair. Okay. So just like our first Kickstarter, but maybe taken a little more seriously, or at least with a little more precaution. We are shipping internationally, so we're going to be able to ship journals all over the world. And for the large majority of our offering and like our business, we've never offered any shipping international. And trust me, we get hit up about it all the time. People email us, they'll DM us, like, hey, do you ship to Mexico? Do you ship to Switzerland? Do you ship to Australia? Do you ship, like, I mean, every week there's a lot. And we don't even advertise in those places. Like, you know, we spend money on advertising to advertise just in the United States because that's what we're comfortable, you know, shipping to right now. But we're really challenging ourselves to expand and get into, you know, other countries. And so I'm just excited to see the heat map of the world and be like, look at all the places that this Heroes Journal thing has gone.
Yeah.
I know. And it's easy for me to say because I told Kyle he's in charge of making it happen. I was like, you're the operations guy. Figure it out. So he's probably not as excited about it. But I can't wait.
Couple things. So the challenge today is if you taught a class, if you were a professor, what class would you teach?
Yeah.
And I believe it's magic related.
Yeah, can I read it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, Zach did a great job writing this. The Astoria Magic Academy offers many classes. What class would you teach if you were a professor? Share your answer in the Heroes Quarters. Well, you can share your answer in the Heroes Quarters, but I want to hear it live here. Think about a skill you have or something that you would love to teach someone else. And I want to
make it magic. You gotta make it magical.
Yeah, of course. You have to make it magical. I mean, you can't just teach statistics, you know. It has to be magical. It has to be something that you can kind of make your own. Should we read through some of these examples? I'll just pick a random one.
Yeah, just pick a random one.
Someone said magical mixology, potions with an adult twist.
Ayo.
Someone responded, I'll drink to that. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Susan would teach hairdressing or animal communication. Magical hairdressing is an exciting class.
Check this out. This is actually I just kind of dunked on math for some reason. This is an actual math teacher. Numerology or arithmancy. I think is how you would pronounce that. Arithmancy. Anyway, numerology and arithmancy. The magic of math. The math of magic, rather.
Yeah.
I would probably fail that class.
So Lauren made sure that I saw it because Lauren used emojis, shiny emojis at that.
This is amazing. I want to read all
The
of this.
psychology of magic, an applications-based approach, and the intersectionality of magic, spirituality, and life on the physical plane.
Whoa.
That's one of those 400, maybe even a 500, 600 level master's class
that's
right
senior
there.
That's honors for sure.
Yeah, that's
Coin management, Goblin's method for wealth building.
ayo.
She's a financial coach. That's from Rebecca. That's great.
Juliana said, I would teach. Juliana said frog choir, but with cats. So did the cats sound like frogs? Or is a frog choir a thing? Is that a musical thing?
Frog. Wait, what was it? What was the comment?
Juliana said frog choir with cats.
So there's a scene in Harry Potter where there's there's a bunch of toads that sing in a choir, but she wants to do that. She wants to be able to train people's cats to sing in a choir,
Nice.
which I think would actually be pretty lovely.
Melissa just said reading because you have to be literate to read spells.
This is so great. We have someone saying that they want to be the school librarian. We have someone saying the art of improvisation and emergency preparedness. I don't know if you guys watch Community, but this reminds me of all the Community episodes because they're named after like hypothetical college classes.
What would you teach?
What would I teach? What would I teach? I don't know. Wizardly entrepreneurship.
You have entrepreneurship is a weird thing to teach.
I know it is.
Let's think. Let's go through the Rolodex.
I was never a good student. I don't even know what I was good at. I don't know.
You're a good communicator. You have an eye for detail. You could
That's
do
true.
you could go into like wand design. You could be like a wand designer
I could
class.
totally go into wand design. I could teach upcoming wizards how to design wands aesthetically. I'm like a front-end developer. I'm a front-end wand developer. There's back-end wand developers. They know what's inside the wand and how much power it has. But I make it look pretty.
There it
I
is.
make it look,
You'd be like talking about
aesthetically.
packaging and stuff.
And I'm talking about the feel. Part of the magic is how you feel when you pull your wand out.
Melissa's taking credit for the community recommendation. I think Melissa was.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was the D&D episode.
it was a D&D episode that is now pulled off of Netflix because there's like a very subtle blackface reference. So they just wiped it off.
Yep.
But I got to see it before. And if it wasn't for that episode, I wouldn't have watched the rest of the series. So thank you for that. That's probably one of my favorite shows of all time now.
Whoa.
I was watching it last night.
Yeah, I would probably teach like either go like somehow do magical like accounting, magical operational accounting, or like a history of the world.
Yeah.
I could do like a modern. I would be like a pop historian for the wizarding world of Magic Historia Magic Academy.
That'd be a cool history.
The pop history.
Yeah, it's like a history that isn't readily available. Only wizards know. So we have Brandon. He said that he would do teach an art class where the drawings come to life.
Whoa,
That's pretty cool.
that'd be so cool. Like how to make your art come to life.
Yeah, but it's like literal.
Yeah.
How to make your art pop off the page. That's cool, Brandon.
Ooh, that's what Juliana said it right. A history of modern magic for Kyle. That's
There
the
you
best
go.
way to say it.
Love it.
Magical accounting would be so nice, right? Magical accounting would mean that you can hide all of your money and you never pay taxes.
Wizardly money laundering. Wizardly tax evasion. Okay.
Yeah.
We laughed too hard at that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
like a like the what's the cloak of invisibility called?
You nailed it. It's called the Cloak of Invisibility.
Oh, nice.
What's that song about grandma getting ran over by a reindeer?
I keep doing that.
Sorry.
James and the Giant Peach.
That was different. I just watched Beetlejuice.
John said principles of community support sorcery.
Whoa.
I like that.
John, you'd be very qualified for that.
The most qualified. Johnny said,
I would love to have John as a professor.
I would too. Jimmy said, I teach an elective on how to become a hero using humor through memeology.
Memeology.
I feel like a GIF is kind of like the magical version of a meme, right? Because it moves. That'd be the most
Yeah.
magical, like the thing we can. Anyways, or GIF. Are we
Yeah.
GIF or GIF people?
What do I say?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to do that now.
I,
you know?
I think I switch back and forth.
Oh, you're ambidifferous.
I'm a switch hitter. Yeah. Ambidifferous.
No way. Magical accounting would mean all of my receipts put themselves into accounting software. That would be amazing. I have a box.
Ooh.
I have a box of receipts.
What's the wizard equivalent of QuickBooks? Is it called QuickBooks?
Yeah. Yeah, we use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Don't say Beetlejuice again, huh?
Reed's here. He said that he would also teach magical history. So you guys could be faculty friends.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Faculty friends.
Co-faculty friends? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a question up top. Reem asked. It's a really good question. Asked what people are reading right now.
That's a good question. I don't think I'm reading anything. Oh, I kind of am.
I honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I haven't read a book in like a month and a half. But
That's not like you. No, that's not true. You were reading on the couch like a couple weeks ago, right?
I guess it's fair. Maybe it was
Ryan Holiday, right?
yeah. I've been reading Obstacle is the Way just because it's Ryan Holiday is it's so easy to read. It's very clear, and I'm also listening to The Goal.
Yeah.
But that's more of a play.
I'm a dedicated audiobook user, which I know might offend some people. But it's the most effective way for me to take in content. So
I have to completely interrupt you because we have a big announcement.
do we?
Bow.
What is it?
Stacy Hardy on Facebook just said, a bit off topic, but I'm on the last day of my journal.
What?
Thank you everyone for helping me stay on my quest. I've
Heck
used my
yeah.
journal every day since I starting my second journal tomorrow.
Holy crap. Stacy, congratulations. Every day? I don't know if I've ever even heard of that. Maybe Nicole has done that. Nicole, if you're here, that we should like I don't know. I don't want to reward or I don't want to make people feel bad for not filling it in every day, but I feel like we should give her a reward or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. That is unbelievable. Good for you, Stacy.
I think we saw your review, Amy.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Wait. What did she say?
She asked if we just saw it.
Yeah. I think you reviewed the bookmarks, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. We read every single review. If you review anything, we will always read it. I tell the team all the time that my favorite notification to get on my phone is a review of the journal, even if they're not good. It would be in your personal.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I clicked on one.
Yeah.
We'll drop everything. Yep. I'm not gonna read it to everyone, but we saw it. I just read it.
Oh, okay. Was it bad?
No, it's great.
Why don't you read it? Can I read it, Amy? Amy, do you mind if we read it? If we read your review live?
Oh, I think it's the right one because this is Amy H, but on here it says it's Amy D. So maybe it
might be it might be different. Anyway, if you guys write us reviews, we will read them, and so will many other people. A lot of people will read our reviews. I think, to be blunt, because we're a little bit more of an expensive product. So people like to do a little more stocking. It's not like a impulse buy for everyone. It's kind of like we definitely have, and it's funny. We did a focus group call last week, and we learned that there was a person on that call that knew about us from our Kickstarter 2 years ago and didn't buy a journal until Royal Purple came out. That is crazy.
That's a long time to know.
That's so long to follow a business and follow a product and then buy. That's like a long time. So, I think that we always are really focused on getting new people in the door and making sure they have a really good experience. But I think sometimes we forget that there's people kind of just waiting in the bushes. They're stalking us from afar. They're waiting for the next cool thing. And I hope that Kickstarter brings out a lot of people that, are interested and maybe have never used a journal before. I hope it's a good excuse for them to hop on. That's the hope.
That is the hope. Yeah. It's exciting. I think that it really reminded me that a lot of the free content we spend a lot of time making can provide value for the goal of people being the hero of their life.
Right.
Because there is a little bit of there's a financial barrier sometimes between having a journal and not having a journal. So we want to make sure that we're offering content that makes people still think of themselves the hero of their life. So
yeah, we do not sell a cheap journal. and yeah, it's like, you know, we can't deliver the quality we do by like tanking our prices. So that's kind of our philosophy for now. It's like we're gonna make the best thing possible, and we're gonna make it extremely meaningful for people. That some people are going to be like, $40? Are you crazy? And some people are going to be like, I'll gladly pay $40 for this because it's that impactful for me.
Couple notes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Amy said, I want to be in a focus group. Amy, you're in a focus group every Saturday.
Everyone signed NDAs actually when you started watching this. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we tried to get people that we don't talk to on a normal basis because we know what you guys think, and it honestly.
Well,
like,
we don't know what you think.
We know a lot of We
wanted to get as you know,
objective,
or at least as general, kind of as random, if you will, as possible. Usually, people that are tuned into the live streams and like, you know, really friendly with us and stuff, they're usually like, you know, it can be harder to get their super honest feedback. You know, you almost want to grab someone who isn't paying attention and figure out why they're not paying attention, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For certain things. I mean, there's also other pieces of feedback. I mean, we've done multiple focus groups, so we'll probably continue to do more for different things.
Yeah. Angela said, I followed you since the Kickstarter, but couldn't afford a journal at the time. Then I was gifted an iPad, thanks sis, and was able to do the digital journal with GoodNotes. That's another one.
Yeah.
Angela, that's such a great story.
We love a digital journal.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad that you found it. It was a good use for you.
I got some good news on YouTube over here. Brandon Lionhearted said, honestly, though, since starting to come to these coffee talks, my journal use and actually being on my quest have positively exploded, which is pretty cool.
That is really great. Angela said, this is my first Saturday, and I have to warn you, you're going to get super honest feedback from me. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
Yeah, but you know, that's what we're here for.
Don't apologize.
We love honest feedback. There's only one way to get better, right?
Only one way to get better. Yeah.
Amy said, you guys are making it difficult for me to choose my next journal. I still need the gray and red journal, but now the new journal is so tempting.
Well, so here's the truth. I'm sure people here are familiar with Kickstarter, but if you aren't, the timeline on a Kickstarter fulfillment is usually long. And unfortunately, the better a Kickstarter does, the longer that timeline usually gets. Because you have to scale with demand. So, you know, let's say we only produce a certain amount of journals, but then more people want journals than we produced. We have to produce more journals, which pushes back our timeline. And so we are doing a Kickstarter for, you know, very intentional reasons, but it won't be the same as like a typical pre-release that we do. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you have time. You have time to do another journal. You have time to hop in another color before. And I don't say that because I'm trying to sell more journals. I'm just saying that I don't want you to sit around for 3 months while you're waiting for your new journal. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So yeah.
Juliana said, haha, we're all like, you want inattention and unfriendliness and honesty? Fine.
Yeah, sorry. Was I hurtful? I wasn't trying to be hurtful, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, yes, Cheyenne, I am watching Facebook today and Nick's watching YouTube because that is the way the news goes.
The way the news goes.
We've used that reference twice now. I don't think anyone's.
Yeah. Whoever can identify that reference, I'll do it one more time. That's the way the news goes. If you can identify that reference, you get 10 Kyle points.
Kyle points, and if you get 100 Kyle points, that turns into 1 Nick coin.
1 Nick coin. Straight to the moon. You guys got to invest in Nick coin. It's the next biggest cryptocurrency. Nice.
No, we can talk during that.
It's so satisfying. It's like, out of respect, I'm quiet when you pour the coffee.
Rick and Morty.
Nice. Congratulations. Who got it first?
It was Meredith. Meredith now is the proud owner of 10 Kyle points.
10 Kyle points. Remember, keep them, add them up, and you could get a Nick coin.
And if you get 1 Nick coin, you can take 10 Nick coins and make 1 Zach Buck.
You have to get 100. Well, you have to get 1,000 Kyle points.
You have to get 1,000 Kyle. So a Kyle point is the equivalent to a millimeter, and a Zach Buck is the equivalent to a meter. And then if you get 1,000 Zach Bucks, you get one Burt nickel. And a Burt nickel is is a kilometer. If we're going off the metric system.
I hate this. I hate it. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, John's like, what am I walking into right now? And Jimmy said shenanigans. This is a lot of shenanigans.
Total shenanigans.
Gosh.
I have a random question. This is like so out of the norm of what we usually talk about. And if you hate this conversation, then I apologize. I want to hear some hot takes on the GameStop stock situation.
What?
Are you guys familiar with this? So if you're not, I'll try my best to explain it. But you have all these people on Reddit kind of like trolling the stock market a little bit and really disappointing some hedge fund managers. It's been everywhere. It's all over the news. Everyone's talking about it, which is why I almost didn't want to bring it up because it's so, I feel like people are relatively on the same side on this issue. And I think that that's kind of special, especially after, the last like year we all went through. Yeah.
Angela said, lol, eat the rich.
Eat the rich. I love it. Yep. So, yeah. On YouTube, we have Skyana. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not, or at least help me spell it out phonetically so I can pronounce it correctly. She said, I think the whole thing is honestly wonderful and hilarious. And then April said, I always root for the underdog. So Reddit users. We do root for the underdog.
We have a lot of people over here saying eat the rich. But Tristan has a good point. I feel like rich flesh would be too rich.
Oh my gosh. See what I mean? Everyone's on the same side.
Jimmy was like, I wanted to put memes in the heroes' quarters, but I didn't want to go to hero jail.
Yeah, it's probably not the most heroes' quarter thing. I don't think we don't even really talk about this kind of stuff, but I figured it would be kind of funny. Here's the connecting tissue to the GameStop situation and what we do. Everyone likes to root for the underdog.
Yes.
And my assumption as to why that is because of storytelling.
Of course. Because
the hero is an underdog. In every story, at least for a moment, they have to have a moment where they become the underdog. And I think that we've all been conditioned to watch that story play out, and it plays out it plays out politically, it plays out economically, it plays out in so many, in sports, it plays out. Like everyone likes to root for the person that's behind because we love a good comeback story. Even like the celebrities, like look at the celebrity like pipeline cycle. It's like someone's super famous and everyone hates them, and they come back and they're amazing again. It's like this weird
Do you want to know another underdog story?
Yeah.
And Juliana made a reference to this. The underdog story is Nick versus pronouncing people's names correctly.
Yeah.
And Juliana said another day, another name that Nick struggles with.
Well, thanks, Guyana. She just actually spelled it out for me phonetically. Here's the thing. I have no shame mispronouncing names because I'm just trying to learn someone's name correctly.
It's true.
And here's the other thing. No one has ever said my last name correctly the first time.
Never?
Never
once.
I think it may have happened one time, and it was almost like they weren't trying.
It's like
they kind of just like took a swing at it, and it was actually, I think it was correct, and we were all surprised. But my entire life, every single year in school, you meet a new teacher. They look around the room. They go like, Nick Vital Aro. And I'm like, it's right here. So, I'm not saying I've earned my keep here. But I know what it's like to have your name mispronounced. And I do apologize for it. But hey, it happens, and my intentions are good. I'm trying to learn how to pronounce names.
Hey. Love that.
We can't all be named Kyle Cole. That's like a 10 out of 10. Like, you can't mispronounce that. That's it. That's the name that the teacher sees on the check-in sheet, and there's a deep sigh of relief.
So
yeah, there you go. Okay, I can do that one.
So here's the thing, though. So every Saturday after the live stream, I go run with my friend Dean, and after the run, Dean and I go to Wendy's. Every week, it's the same person at the Wendy's who spells my name wrong every single week.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Ciel or something like that. It's crazy.
Whoa. Ciel?
Yeah, it's insane.
Not even close. Whoa. Wow.
Carissa said, "Fail forward." That's your approach to names, is failing forward.
Look, Brandon really helped complete my thought here. He said, every journey has a death and rebirth. The low points and obstacles are part of, if not integral, to the path. So Reddit is the underdog here. Does that mean that once Reddit gets so big, even as big as these hedge funds, that now we're going to root for the hedge funds?
Yeah, because Reddit's turning into a hedge fund. It's turning into a crowdsourced hedge fund, right?
Crowdsourced hedge fund's an interesting idea. Kind of.
So John has a hot take, and then also Angela had a hot take.
I'm sorry, I didn't want this to
John's hot take is, my hot take on GameStop situation. Hedge fund managers need to stop whining and adapt with the times. Surely they can sell a couple boats and cut back on the avocado toast. On the other side of things, the Redditors need to be humbled up a bit. Gosh.
Yeah, I think they do.
Sorry, it keeps going like this. Humbled up a bit and stop pretending that they know more about finance than someone who has spent a career on Wall Street, annoying people on both sides of the fence. I agree with that. And Angela said, this is the other hot take. If you have really hot takes, get them out now, because they are not welcome on the normal Heroes Quarter page.
I know this isn't the most ally-centric talk track, but for some reason I started this can of worms.
Angela said, so here's my real hot take. Hedge fund bros are supervillains. They manipulate the market and screw the regular guys over. The real heroes here are the regular guys who turned that hedge fund villainy back onto the villains. That is a hot take.
You already know there's a script in Hollywood being written about this very moment right now. There will be a movie about this in the next 6 years.
And here is the hottest take of them all. Meredith said, get too successful with this journal business and we'll all turn on you. Yeah. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's the age-old saying.
You either die a hedge fund manager or live long enough to see yourself get dethroned by Reddit.
So true. You either die in a boat
or live long enough to sell your yacht. Oh my gosh.
Eat the heroes? No, don't eat the heroes.
No.
Scary.
No. We gotta have a protagonist. Gotta have someone to root for.
I think Saturday mornings.
You know what's unfortunate? It's like all our attendance has totally gone gone up 10 people since
I know.
we started talking.
People's ears are burning.
I know all the spicy Reddit hedge fund stuff. But it's been beaten into the ground. Like everyone's talking about it. And I think everyone's on the same side,
It's true.
Everyone's like, yeah,
Yeah,
you got too comfortable at the top, didn't you?
Here's the funny thing about this. We share this into our group. To the event. So people who are here for like Kickstarter, and they're probably so confused. They're like, how does this have anything to do with the Kickstarter?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It does not.
It does not. Unless we were, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with it.
See, here's the thing about Saturday morning is we go off the rails.
Yeah, we do.
We're hopped up on caffeine.
Yeah, it's our chance to talk about whatever.
Yeah, you know, it's like
Sandwiches.
this is where the inside jokes come from. This is when if you're here on like a Friday live stream during like a giveaway, you can just go in there and you can throw a little live stream. You can throw a little live stream inside joke. We can all share a laugh.
It's true. You know, I want to talk about something really quick. We made some exciting upgrades to the Heroes headquarters in the
We
last
did.
in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading the YouTube comments. So Kyle built a really exciting table that he's been wanting to build for a while,
It's true.
and it is amazing. It's
Aw.
really great.
That was so nice.
It's not even done yet, and it's gotten a lot of use, even this week. And then we also built a home gym, sort of.
Yeah,
It's a home gym.
I would say we've built more of a home gym than I've built a table. The gym is
Yeah.
more complete than the table is
That's
at this
fair.
point.
We got the gym flooring. We have one bench, and we have like a couple dumbbells. That's a gym. You know?
Don't forget the Body Boss.
I haven't used that yet. I don't even know what it is, but it sounds like an infomercial.
People want to see the table. Well, just Jimmy wants to see the table.
Well, it's upstairs.
It is upstairs.
was-
There'll be when it's done. I'll put pictures up.
Yeah, I was thinking once it's done, we can live stream.
The closed
from the
captioning on
table.
Saturday is really well done. Honestly, it was unintentional,
Wait,
but I'm glad that you guys are
closed
enjoying the closed
captions?
captioning.
Really? I didn't realize that they had that.
Juliana's the queen of like the fake goodbye.
I know.
Last thing, yeah. John liked the table. So John, in our meeting yesterday, John and I do a weekly one-on-one, and I showed him the table in the meeting. So I guess John is able to attest.
Yeah.
Sorry, I built a dining table, and most recent a shop table. Also, a couple cutting boards. I think Jimmy might. No. So it's kind of shoddy work. I'll be honest. I'm not the best woodworker
Was
right
that
now.
Jimmy who built all those
Yeah.
things? You guys could be woodworking buddies.
It's true. We can talk about woodworking, and he can talk about what it's like to lose to me in Mario Kart. Boom, roasted.
Dang. Shimmy James Blue.
LL missed the coffee mug. Shimmy James Blue. Shimmy James sent this coffee mug to us.
Yeah. Well, he was in cahoots with John Combs.
There was a lot of cahoots.
Yeah. The best part is I love the profile picture on the mug. It's my favorite. Also, Pete said Heroes Journal 90-day fitness challenge. Nope.
Adam wants to know what
Sorry,
the
Pete.
odor of the Heroes headquarter smells
The
like.
odor. Good lord. I mean, there's probably every house has a smell.
But this is the thing. It was probably worse before this Monday.
Yeah, we had cleaners come.
Yeah, we came to the realization that we were not going to be able to sanitize the house. We can tidy, we can do all that stuff, but the sanitization was not
Yeah.
happening. So,
When you live and you work in the same place and you have to ship journals, it just is too much.
It's too much.
It's a large space. So, you know, we had to get some help.
yeah, they came through. They
it was a-
vacuumed all the common spaces. They mopped the floors, cleaned the bathrooms, and it smells a lot better than it would have.
Yeah. It's a
week
game
ago.
changer for sure.
It is an absolute game changer. That was an opportunity cost purchase.
Between that and the home gym and the table, we're really making some upgrades here.
Oh yeah, we're living in like a real headquarters right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't read the hashtag for LL. The hashtag reads should have been on a Shapes on Mugs mug, but you said probably not. Hashtag savage. It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a special. We'll do a collab. John said I can imagine it smelling like refried beans.
Jeez.
Well, mostly because of the spilling of the beans, not because of the
Oh, okay.
not because of
You're
our
just
stench.
being mean. I didn't pick up on the joke. I was like, that was so mean.
Or coffee beans.
It does smell like coffee in our kitchen.
A lot of times, yes.
We make coffee 4 times a day. That's why.
It's a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Brian on YouTube is from Tacoma. Washington. He says he loves my hat. I got it. I said, where'd you get it? I got this hat. This is a very weird reason to buy a hat. But I read Matthew McConaughey's memoir. I listened to it, actually, which if you are interested, listen to it. Don't read it because he narrates it.
It's amazing.
And it is a whole experience. Anyway, Brian, his memoir is called Green Lights. So that's where this design comes from. And I liked the book so much, I thought it'd be kind of funny to buy a hat. And now I wear this hat almost every day.
It's true.
So,
If anyone's wondering, because I want attention too, ShipStation.
ShipStation we use as our CRM for orders. They're really great. And they sent us a hat. Kyle wears it.
Cheyenne, I did notice that you said the joke first. I'm not very fast at reading. Cheyenne made the spilled bean jokes, the beans joke first.
Sorry. The joke went over my head in the first place. So
It's true. But John did make the distinction, more like spilled beans, less like BO.
yeah, I don't think it smells like BO, does it?
Maybe. I mean, we can't tell. We live here.
I know
you know?
Zach's room always smells like the incense. He burns an incense.
It's true.
Every time you walk downstairs, you smell it. And I actually like the smell.
I know. I've actually been thinking about it. I'm like, do I get incense from my room? I don't spend very much time in my room, though.
I've thought about that too. We can't both get incense, though.
The weird thing about Nick and I versus Bert and Zach is that Nick and I are not room dwellers. We like pretty much only sleep in our rooms.
Yeah.
And Bert and Zach are like they love their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting difference.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know. Are you guys room dwellers or are you guys like common space dwellers?
Yeah, especially with COVID, like you probably have to find, if you work from home, you have to figure out a place where you work and a place where you sleep. And I wonder how many people work where they sleep or work in their room or whatever. Where's your workspace? Or just your non-sleep space that you hang out?
Melissa said, I listened to Matt M. narrate his book on regular speed for the first half, and I'm like, dude, I don't got time for this. I sped up him up for the remaining half.
Oh yeah, no, I think I listened to it on 1.7.
Yeah, he's very like he's like kind of like
Texan.
drawl.
Very Texan.
Angela asked a question, and I don't know if we have a very exciting answer. Angela asked, what kind of analysis do you guys do with your sales? As a data analyst by trade, I love this stuff.
Ooh.
We don't do a ton. I would say that most of our effort is spent on like.
This is like your favorite thing. Why are you being so coy?
But we don't like. I do more like cost analysis. I'm more of like return on ad spend rather than like actually diving into the data.
I mean, we've looked at where our most popular like geographical location is.
Yeah, we'll do like we'll go into like the Facebook ads and we'll look at our geographies, like our demographics and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's mostly like a cost analysis.
Yeah.
Of like what's the return on this group versus this group and stuff like that. It sounds very robotic and not very insightful. So I wish I had a better answer. We could do a lot better.
I want to hear your advice. We're here. We're drinking coffee together. What should we be tracking?
Yeah. What's a good D2C?
Yeah, direct to consumer, because that's our business model, obviously. Direct to consumer. What are the good KPIs to take a look at as an analyst? I want to hear it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Talking shop, talking analytics, talking big data.
Alrighty. In the meantime,
Uh-oh.
Melissa is a room person.
Why is that not charging?
I got you. I don't think Bert plugged it in. Oh, got unplugged.
Oh, Gotta make sure the laptop's charging. I don't want to die on you guys.
So Melissa's a room person. Nicole is a common space dweller at the moment, but traditionally room dweller. Common space since family of 5. QuickBooks is on my phone, so I can lay in bed and work. That's what Neela said.
Very nice.
Melinda said my workspace is in the living room corner near the window and fireplace. My workspace is the kitchen table, said Amy.
Beautiful. Brandon works in his dining room.
Sky said I'm switching back to Facebook. I like it better. I don't have a workspace entirely since my job is being a stay-at-home parent, but we do have a separate office room where we spend most of our time. Interesting.
Love it.
Susan's a room person, but my dog Ace can't get up to the stairs, so I spend most of my time on the main floor with him.
Aww. I like that name for a dog.
Yeah, I like that name for a dog too. My buddy Ralph's his dog's name is Ace.
It's a good name for a dog.
It's a golden retriever, which feels like very like
Top Gun.
very Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Nick and I do have offices, but I don't even think we spend that much time in there. Granted, mine's a closet, so that call it an office. It's a big closet.
Yeah. Kyle works in the closet. Yeah, I probably have the best office in the house, but I don't know if I spend a ton of time in there. It's kind of one of the only private rooms, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, we have like this office space, but really it's a house. It's a glorified house. And one of the only private meeting spaces is like my office. So we got to go in there and do our check-ins and stuff.
All right, we have the answer from our data analyst. The results are in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1, state regional color popularity. Number 2, state regional bundle popularity. Number 3, what bundles are most purchased during holiday seasons? Number 4, when someone purchases a single journal, how frequently do they come back for more? And do they only purchase one at a time, or do they come back for bundles? It's very interesting. Number 4 is probably the most interesting to me because what it would say is was the original experience with one journal good enough that you would buy in for multiple journals, which means either you thought it was good enough to get it for a friend, or it was like, you know what, I enjoy this process. I'm going to be doing this for a long time. May as well get the discount.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Really interesting. We just make cool stuff.
I do a lot of like regional stuff with
That's
like
true.
maps and things.
That's true. The truth is, I don't think you have enough time to be a full-time analyst guy.
Yeah,
But I bet you have time to make a report like that. I feel like you'd like that.
I would enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, you should take a screenshot of the criteria.
Oh, 100%. I'll be going back. Don't worry. I'll be going back.
We also have April on YouTube giving me some advice
Ooh.
on KPIs. She says age, gender, zip code are common. They can let you know if there's a demographic you're missing. Do a target promo. If that doesn't work, you know you don't need to cater to that demographic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's really good. You know, we did have to do we had to do a data dive on location because when we went to we had that brief stint with a 3PL, we had to decide on where to send the journals because we had 3 different shipping locations.
Yeah.
That was probably the most data analytics I had to do.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it on a map, it actually looked like most of it was on the East Coast, but California is our most common area. Also makes sense because there's like 50 million people that live
It was
there.
back in June.
Yeah. And there were so many dots stacked on top of each other that if you just looked at it, you would think it was the East Coast, but it's actually California by like 3x at that point.
Yeah.
Crazy thing.
Data. Very fun. Informed decision making.
While I'm going off about like location, everyone's talking about their pets.
That's me. Kyle's like, we should run we should check out the data, like who's returning from what, and I'm like, let's make pens. Let's make cool stuff. We should do slipcases. How cool would it be if we did this? We should make a wizard journal. That's me.
Angela just said, man, now I just want to play in your sales database. Seriously.
Wow.
Can you tie purchase behavior and online engagement? Probably not yet. That's the other part. We've been building, like, a lot of our data has been building. We were, like, a year ago, we had, like, we've sold, like, 1,000 journals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
This is our first year with real data, and I don't think we've done a great job, like, being kind to our future selves. We've switched platforms a few times. We've, like, we never really got our Google Analytics set up correctly for a while. We kind of, it's stuff that I think that we plan to figure out in the future. I don't know if it's working, but.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my projects that's getting pushed lower and lower on the priority list for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I think that is one of the crazy things about running like an e-commerce business, because nothing is tied to a location. Everything's like kind of like ethereal and up in the air, and there's endless amounts of things to be done.
Yeah.
So having like a list of things to do is almost is impossible.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to decide to work on. So it's true.
Wow, Adam gave us free
Is this
consultation.
just a bunch of like data analysts that we
Yeah.
live stream to? I think this is our demographic. I think we found it. It's just data analysts.
Adam said, I've done extensive analysis, but mostly for private equity. That being said, at this point, I would think your focus should be on growing your top line. Also, gather your data in organized format. Make sure that it's extremely reliable and utilize business intelligence software to manage your business daily, Power BI, Tableau, etc. KPIs are great, but unless they give you an actionable info, they are useless. Also, you seem to be wasting ad revenue on people who are already sold in your product. For example, I keep getting ads for the Heroes Journal, but I'm already a repeat customer and member of the Heroes Quarters group on Facebook. Money spent on me is wasted.
Dang.
So here's the one thing, and this is selfish, but also I'll tell you guys, this is the best part about advertising to people who have already purchased a journal or people who already like us, is that a lot of times people will go and look at the comments and they'll like fight for us in the comments. I've seen Nicole do it on there multiple times.
Yeah. I don't think we don't intentionally advertise to people that have already
It's
bought.
not intentional,
bought
but
a
it is a great result.
Yeah. It's true. We try and avoid that as much as possible. I even think that we specify on our
We do 90 days.
Yeah, if you we try and with our digital advertising to discourage ads being shown to people who have bought a journal or any purchase from our website in the last 90 days.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work.
Meredith said we're all data analysts and hedge fund managers.
Yeah, wait.
The hot take is that Nick actually has just been talking trash to everyone in the live stream the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, wait. You guys are watching this from your yachts.
Alora said, I love seeing my own journal review as an ad for me. Facts.
That's amazing. Yeah, hopefully it's convincing. That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Is Zach getting called out right now?
I think Zach is
can't
getting called
tell.
out
I
right
think-
now.
Yeah.
And people analyzers.
Yeah. I think we might need better targeting.
Adam said, always willing to talk more about business stuff. I love analytics and also love Chinese food. So are you saying that you think that payment is Chinese food?
Yeah. You want an analyst job? We pay
In
52.
we pay in chow mein.
We pay in chow mein.
Are those boxes by chance bean boxes or are they old boxes? These ones?
Bean boxes? Oh, like spill the bean boxes?
Oh, these are old boxes, yeah. These are
Yeah.
all
Are they- I
so
think
what
they're-
happens is in our studio we in our studio we have like a bunch of boxes that we've used for like product photos or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe ones that have been dented in the boxes. It's just kind of like random boxes here and there.
Yeah.
And we needed coasters because this is like a pretty nice kind of raw wood table and we didn't want to ruin it with the hot coffee. So
Yeah, that's true. Try our best to take care of things. Yeah, we end up with a very small percentage of our inventory is defected. We aren't able to ship it out, so we'll just keep them. Sometimes we'll donate them. Sometimes we'll use them for gifts or for random stuff
it's true.
like coasters. Yeah.
Man, Adam and Angela are just so nice. Adam said no payment necessary. Super kind.
Oh.
Adam said the two statements are separate and distinct. I'm just dieting and can't stop talking about food. Yeah, I have never dieted in my entire life.
April
I need
says April also likes Chinese food. May need to see if there's any correlation. Start advertising at Chinese restaurants.
There it is.
There's a strong correlation between data analysts and Chinese food.
What's like the famous phrase is like it's correlation not causation. Is that what it is, or what's the?
Well, there's just two different things.
But like the people say it a lot. Like that's correlation not causation. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a saying.
People say stuff like that.
Like people can say that they're correlated. It doesn't mean causation.
Brian said, "Do you guys plan to offer journals in different languages?" I think one day we dream to.
Yeah, we don't have any wheels in motion. To be fully transparent in translating anything. The good news, like I actually think about this all the time. This is a very specific example. What was that?
its correlation isn't necessarily causation. Is the popular
Gotcha.
phrase.
Gotcha. So I once upon a time was traveling. I was in Israel of all places, with my family, and I was jet lagged, and there's nothing to watch on TV, at least nothing that I understood, and there's no subtitles in English. So the TV was just playing random stuff. The only thing I could watch was Tom and Jerry. It's the only thing on TV I could watch, and it got me thinking about our journal, because our journal, it doesn't have a ton of text in it. I mean, it has a decent amount, but for how many pages, it's a majority pictures, and it kind of speaks to you in pictures, which is something I'm really excited about, and I think it would make translating it easier. I hope. I'm not a language expert, but I think you can get some of these ideas across without losing too much of the essence of the journal.
Yeah, it's my only fear is that things wouldn't translate culturally.
Right.
It's not necessarily like you could put the word gratitude in Spanish and put it on there. That's not the concern. It's more of like, I don't want to have something that doesn't translate culturally to a different place.
Right.
I think that is it's probably not a huge concern for people.
Yeah.
But that is my major concern, because I stress about things that don't matter.
I mean, it definitely matters. Like, you think about like data. Like, we have to figure out what is the market for like a goal setting journal in a foreign country. Because you have to have people that understand what like kind of a templated goal setting journal is. It's not just a notebook. And they also have to have some knowledge of story and the hero's journey.
Yeah,
for
but
it
there's
to all
stories in all
kind
these languages, right?
Kind of work, huh?
Yeah, there are stories in all these languages. That's the whole point.
Yeah, of course. People understand stories. I just mean I think part of the magic is knowing the crossover between them. So you're right. I don't know if that translates. Maybe it translates even better than it does here. Who knows?
It's true. That's fair.
But I don't even know how you'd figure that out.
Also, it's like, how do we do like Saturday morning coffee chat? We would have to learn. Adam said his wife is fluent in Polish, so therefore we'd have to learn Polish just to have these conversations.
I think it's called localization, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. It's what I've seen it called at like game studios and stuff like that, when they have to localize a video game. So I wonder if it'd be the same for us. It's probably a little different.
Yeah.
You'd probably have to talk to a translator who understands the culture, and who's able to bridge the gap. That's just one piece.
Brian says, as a language student, I can tell you are absolutely right in thinking pictures say a lot on their own.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think that's a part of the reason why it could be translated is because we try to help people tell their own story anyways. We're not trying to take center stage in that regard. So I guess it makes more sense. It would translate well because it's already focused on the person doing the journal, not us giving the journal to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. I think there's a lot of us who just want to see the Heroes Journal succeed because it helped us succeed. Wow.
Yeah.
That's super kind.
That is really kind. I mean, I think we want that too. We struggle to know. I don't know. I think we struggle to know how big we want to be.
Yeah. We've been watching. This was a topic a while ago. Someone brought it up about how big you want to be. We've been watching a ton of the Wormwood videos.
Yeah. Give us a shout if you guys are familiar with Wormwood, or if you watch their YouTube channel. I think it's called Worm Life. They have like a vlog that kind of follows their shop and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely high production though. I think they scripted a little bit, but either way, it's really like high production. It's good stuff. But we've been watching them, and it's like, is that the size that we're trying to get to? And I'm sure that like I think someone mentioned that Wormwood was more like this when they started, being able to talk directly to people, but now they're just like,
yeah, they're a lot bigger now.
They're a lot bigger now. They did an $8 million Kickstarter.
Yeah, like they're definitely bigger than us, but they're not like a far cry away from us. Like, like they're not super far. Like I could see us being a similar size in 3 to 5 years depending on how we end up playing the cards, and how things go. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I watch those and I watch them as like entertainment, but I also watch them as like a student, and I also watch them as like a cautionary tale in a lot of ways. And I'm not really sure. I've actually been meaning to talk to you about this. I watched a bunch of episodes last night, and
Yeah, me too.
it was like, hey, did you really?
Yeah, separately.
That's funny. Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about it, but
We have a ton of small business owners in here talking about it.
yeah. I mean, so here's the thing that I will applaud Wormwood for doing super, super well. I mean, I have literally nothing bad to say about them. But like they document their journey extremely transparently and extremely well, and in an entertaining way. Which is like, trust me, like when we moved in here, I think we were under the impression that like we were going to be doing the exact same thing in a lot of ways, like really documenting. It's really hard to do. I think we take it for granted because everyone's kind of grown up just watching content sort of like that. It's almost has like this reality show kind of feel to it, but like it takes a lot of like money and a really talented team to produce that high quality of content and that at that level of entertainment. So anyway,
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We have a lot of comments. Alora hit the nail on the head. Does Wormwood have data analysts asking to saying they'll work for free? I bet not. I don't know. Melissa said, guessing not the same Wormwood as in C.S. Lewis, the Screwtape Letters. Maybe it is. I've actually been wondering that. It's such an interesting name
yeah,
that it feels like it might be. Anyways,
it might be inspired from that. I do love the Screwtape Letters. But.
so we have two sides of the coin here. So LL said, it's nice to be involved with a small company who's still small enough to know their customers individually. If there were 500 people on this chat, it wouldn't be the same. But then Adam said, why not shoot for the stars? Aim to get bought out and then use your success to do more good in the world. Nothing wrong with success if you use your powers for good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that we get like a blend. That's my.
Can you do both?
I think you can.
I mean, so here's the truth. I know we're not huge. We've been live streaming for a decent amount of time. And like we had people really early on in our live streams that aren't here anymore.
It's true.
Like, and that's fine. We're not mad about that. But I think even that is an example of kind of that process already happening. We used to stream to like 5 people in packed journals. We just stream on Instagram. And we would just be packing journals. We get to know people by name. We get to know them really well. And then like, as time goes on, they just, they kind of phase out. Life goes on. Maybe we get too big and then they're just kind of like, they don't feel like it's special enough anymore. So maybe even going from like 5 people in a live stream to 20 people, 30 people in a live stream is too big of a jump for those kinds of people. And maybe it's like,
yeah, I mean, even now, like we're not as good at responding to comments.
No, we're really not.
Like even like yesterday, I had to even say it. I had to say I can't get to every single one of these. And it doesn't make any comment less or more important. You just say the ones that you see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that, but there's still a way to be personal about things. In knowing that, there's a reason like we do all the things that we do, and we want to make sure that everyone feels like welcome. Adam's heading out. See you later, Adam.
See you, Adam. Thanks for the wisdom. Really appreciate it.
Tanya, that was a great explanation.
Yeah.
But I think we're a little different than Wormwood in the way that we would grow as well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do the same thing as they do.
Yeah.
But, being like, I don't want to call it us a Kickstarter company. They're a lot more savvy when it comes to Kickstarter than we are. But yeah, like they've kind of built their whole brand and company on community engagement, because that's what a Kickstarter is, right? Like it's like a project that you do together, and so they're so interweaved with their customer base. They're so close with them that they have a really powerful bond, and I don't know how scalable that is, and it doesn't mean everything has to be scaled, right? Like some things can't scale without losing this special sauce.
It's true.
But yeah.
And a lot of our for those on YouTube, a lot of our people on Facebook who are who are they frequent the Saturday morning streams say they like these much better than the 100-person live streams.
Yeah.
And then Alora said because we don't get nearly as much attention. And that is 100% the case. And we try our best.
Sorry. We're not giving you guys enough attention. I'm sorry. Sorry to the Funny Alliance.
Yeah.
You guys are still funny. I'm very sorry.
See, that's why like my hope is that we can start building out more interactive channels, right? Like doing like a Twitch stream or like a Discord, where we can create smaller groups where we can all just chat.
Yeah.
But also still have the volume of people interacting, because the reality is that the more people that we interact with, the more people we get to help be like the heroes of their lives.
Oh, and the better you can make the product. Like,
it's true.
You know, like that's the truth. Is like to make a better product, you have to continue to iterate and get feedback from more people. Yeah, I do want to give a quick shout out. Jimmy mentioned Story. I think it's called Story Brand, the Donald Miller book.
Yeah,
it's the first thing I read right after I got the idea for the Heroes Journal many years ago. I remember hearing about that book. I knew it was kind of half marketing, half the hero's journey, and kind of an interesting take on that. And it was really great. I read it, and it really helped clarify a lot of things for what I wanted the Heroes Journal to be.
Yeah. But also, it's a workbook. And that also defined what we didn't want the journal to be.
Yeah, it was like a different curriculum, I guess, that Donald Miller tried a long time ago. And it was called like Storyline or something. And it was about, becoming the hero of your story and creating, like, finding your narrative and stuff like that. There's a lot of these exercises out there, and some of them are really bad. Some of them are really good. Almost all of them felt like a workbook to me, and I do not do well when I feel like I have to do a workbook. So that was another just functional aspect of the journal that I really wanted to avoid. Like, I didn't just want to be a checklist, but I also didn't want to be another workbook. So we tried, and we're continuing to balance this as time goes on, but it's like the right amount of reflection sections that are kind of workbooky, but still valuable, and also a lot of practical, organizational templates that work, and then really charming art that keeps you engaged. And the hope is that cocktail kind of creates like engagement with your own life and your own story, meaningful questions and meaningful reflections from those breaks in the story, and a reason to open it up every day because there's fun art in it. That's the hope.
Was the book building a story brand?
Yeah. Story brand. Is that what it's called?
LL asked, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, story brand. Yeah, it's really good. Even if like you're not into marketing and you just like the hero's journey, it's like it's just a good read. Donald Miller's a great writer. So yeah. Laura goes, I bought a workbook 3 weeks ago that I've yet to open because it's a workbook. I know, workbook.
I mean, the thing is like, I don't want to like diss on the workbook platform.
It's just a different mindset.
It's a very different mindset.
Yeah, like workbooks are great if you want to learn something new, like if you're there to work on something. But like, we didn't want to make engaging with your goal feel like work.
Okay, so it's Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller is the book that Jimmy's going through, and the brand is called Story Brand.
Yes. Yep.
I don't want to get off work and then do more work. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I once bought a self-discovery collage album and never actually used it. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so I've done these workbooks before. They're really good, but they require such a level of depth and discipline that is largely, it's hard to tap into just on like a Tuesday morning, right? So the goal was to have something that was light enough that you could just open it up and at a minimum write the date, write your quest, write what you're grateful for, flip the page, right? Like just kind of like low hanging fruit that was like low effort, high reward, engaging enough to come back to day after day, that you didn't associate with like shame for not being good enough or not writing in it consistently enough. And then something that, when you look back on it, it would have meaning so that there's reason to keep it around. So we have a reason to make it beautiful and durable. So we're not there yet, but we're definitely working towards that perfect balance of everything.
I do have a suggestion. If anyone's looking for it, an audiobook. It's a textbook, so not really a workbook, but it's a textbook. If you're looking for a good time, you want to learn a couple things, The Goal is a great audiobook. It was suggested to us by my stepmom, Madonna. She's in here every once in a while. She's extremely talented and successful in her own right.
Extremely talented.
And very smart. I won't go through her laundry list of accomplishments, but she gave us that suggestion, and I've listened to probably a third of it. Nick finished it, and it's really great. It's very engaging, very interesting. It gets a 5-star review. Would continue listening is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's actually a super interesting idea, and I think it kind of dips into our pool a little bit. Like,
It does.
it was written as like a master's level. Basically, take like a master's level textbook concept on the theory of constraints, and they, in kind of applied to like a supply chain, or like an order of operations. Now it's an old book; it's like from the 80s, but they take that concept and they apply it to a novel. So they basically turn a textbook, like a master's level business level textbook, and put it into a like novel. And the audiobook is like old, but it's so engaging because it's like a play. They got different voice actors. The different characters have like different, voices. There's like music, there's sound effects. Like, it's really, really well done. And you're learning about supply chain, like management and process and the theory of constraints, stuff that like if you opened like a textbook, you would just roll your eyes. Like, I don't want to learn about this. Now, it's a little dated.
Yeah, so it's called The Goal because we had someone ask. It's The Goal by Eliyahu M. Goldratt.
Yeah, it was
Eliyahu.
It felt like it was an experiment. Like, and I don't know why it didn't catch on. It felt like this person was trying to like revolutionize how we learn from textbooks by putting it into a novel, into a narrative format, which is way more engaging. And I don't know why it never caught on because it's so effective.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that I don't know if because I have the written book too, and I haven't opened it, but I've listened to it. So
Yeah.
maybe it's gonna come alive now because of the advancements in audible technology.
And I'm like, why haven't more people taken textbook concepts and turned them into some kind of narrative story?
Because it's like I would say I think the textbook. This is my hot take for the day.
Ooh.
Textbooks and education is old money. They don't want to change, and they'll fight out any new innovations because it comes after their money.
Reddit, do your thing.
Reddit, get after old money education.
I know, that's actually true. There does need to be kind of a disruption in the school textbook, and I think COVID's probably helping accelerate that.
The Hero's Journal, maybe? What? Foreshadowing for in 10
the
years
heck?
when we get big enough that we can make a textbook?
What? Who said that?
Yeah.
We have no plans to do.
We've talked about it a lot, though. We've had a lot of educators reach out to us, and
Yeah.
I think we've done probably 8 to 10, in the ballpark of 8 to 10 bulk orders for schools, and schools have seemed to really enjoy it. So
Can we talk about our most recent bulk order, or is that TMI?
I'll talk about it.
We can talk about it very vaguely.
So we had our second biggest bulk order inquiry. I have to make the invoice still, so it's not a guarantee, but it's out there.
It's still an inquiry.
Still an inquiry. But there's a verbal agreement.
Well, so there's a notable name behind this inquiry.
We'll say
You've probably heard of them.
you probably heard of them because they snap together and you can build really cool things out of them.
Let's just say everything's awesome.
Everything is really awesome.
Everything's cool when you're part of a team.
And
Do you guys know who we're talking about?
someone from their corporate reached out to us and wants to give journals to some of their team members,
Retail team members, right?
retail team members,
Yeah. So
not for retail sale, but for the actual people working in the retail locations.
I love my beans vague. Has no one really guessed it? Okay, there it goes.
Yeah, there it is.
Cheyenne got it.
How are we doing on YouTube, by the way?
We're doing okay. Oh, yep.
But yeah, so it's more. It's a really exciting thing just because they're a company that we obviously look up to.
Yeah.
And it's not like a massive bulk order. We've done a bigger bulk order in the past, but yeah, we did have someone reach out to us, and they personally are pretty high up, and they're also just excited to use the thing. So that was some of the highest praise we could receive because they are
Lego.
people, and they're a company that holds their product to the highest possible caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that we hold we hold ourselves to that same caliber. So
It was cool. It was really cool.
it's a really high praise.
Yeah, it was definitely a flex to see that email signature.
Oh yeah,
It's like Lego Corporation.
it was super exciting.
Very cool. Hopefully, they don't steal our idea.
Yeah. Hopefully everything goes through because that'd be really early.
So we were talking a little earlier about workbooks not wanting to be a workbook. Brandon asked a really good question. He said, aside from a workbook, what else did you not want the journal to be? Is that something you can get into?
What did we not want the journal to be? Number one, we didn't want to be mean.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We wanted it to be kind, and I've told this story a lot, especially this month. I always pictured it feeling like Gandalf knocking at your door, or feeling like Dumbledore helping you clean up a room using magic, and then turning to you and saying, that was fun. Like, I always think of those narrative embodiments of like kindness and gentleness, and we wanted to create a journal that looked really cool and looked really minimal, but when you opened it, it treated you like very kindly. We have done enough self-improvement and enough like personal development, enough organizational stuff to know that like stricter guidelines and harder set rules and more what's the word I'm looking for, like ultimatums for yourself, like the more of that you pile on, the more you do shame-based changing, which isn't really a sustainable way to live your life, and it's certainly not a kind way to live your life. It's not a kind way to go about achieving your goals. Like, you want to strike a balance between people being like really, you want to strike a balance between being really kind to yourself and but also, kind of questioning some of that comfortability and getting outside of that box. That's like, I think that there's a way better recipe for change when you're kind to yourself than when you're not. So I think that was one of the goals. Like we were really wanting to try and achieve that. And again, I don't think we're there yet, to be honest. Like there's full transparency. There's probably still some parts of the journal that are like shame-based change, or maybe they're even too kind. Like I'm willing to say that, like they're too fluffy, or they're too vague or something like that. So we're still working towards that goal, and we're still trying to figure out what works. So yeah.
A couple things. Angela said, real story time. The caring style of this journal brought me to tears when I first read through it. Wow. That's very I'm glad that we were able to do that.
Wait, Angela, I want to know like what part, like what page.
Yeah. But the way that I look at it, and this might not be 100% one-to-one comparison, but like the way I look, I'm also not a parent, but I also think about like a good parent gives their kid like structure and a place to like succeed, but also is like loving and caring so that there's no like fear of failure, right? There's that balance of you want to have structure so things make sense, and like maybe there's things to do that are right and things that are wrong, but also giving like a sandbox so you can feel like you can try a bunch of different things. Yeah. I'm a 25-year-old person with no kids, so I wouldn't know, but yeah, that's my assumption of what it's like to be a parent.
Cheyenne goes, actually, first of all, so Laura goes, if Lego has heard of you, then your marketing might be working.
That's fair.
Which I appreciate, because I felt like we were trash for a second. Cheyenne said, make a villain's journal that is like aggressive love type or get shit done or else. And I have totally had that idea before.
Tough love's villain journal.
Yeah. I thought about making a far less wholesome version of the hero's journal called the villain's journal. And it just pesters you all day. It just says, you're not going to get up. You're not going to do anything today. You're a piece of shit.
Ooh.
But that's not very kind.
Melissa said, parenting should equal a velvet-lined steel box.
Wow.
That's way better said than what I
A
said.
velvet-lined steel box.
Brian said the thing that hit the nail on the head with the journal is how forgiving it feels when you miss a day or 2 or 30. You feel like you can just pick it up and without feeling like you have wasting time, money, or paper. People weirdly enough want this villain's journal. That was something I was not ready for.
I know. We've got the amount of jokes we've gotten from friends,
true.
family.
It's so
It's
true.
like, oh, what about the villain's
The
journal?
anti-hero's journal.
Oh, I'm gonna make the villain's diary. It's like, okay.
The villain's diary is the is the one that I heard first.
Yeah. It was funny the first 10 times. Venus said, my last journal was dated and I missed the weeks during the U.S. election. I just drew a dumpster on fire because it was how I was feeling. That's a pretty good, at least that's a pretty good bookmark in your story, you know?
And this is like, I don't want people to feel like talking about your last journal is like talking about your ex. You know what I mean? My last journal made me feel this way.
Yeah, that's true.
You can talk about your
last journal got you to where you are now.
which is good.
Yeah.
A sidekick journal. The kick in the Heine journal.
People really want this villain's journal thing.
Seriously.
The villain's journal is like the card you play when you are too big to fail.
Villain's journal could focus on the strengths of the villains and putting a positive spin, maybe. You know, villains are probably the best. They're the best at raising capital in all the movies.
They're a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, they're just the hedge fund. Like, they always have so much money. Like,
Yeah.
especially like in like the early 2000s, 90s, it was like they have all these like flying robot things.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah. It's the underdog.
yeah, and
Right?
like,
money is power. More money, more power. That creates, even if the hero's like Bruce Wayne, who is also rich and Batman.
but he's an anti-hero.
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, because he's like a vigilante, which makes him kind of a villain at the same time.
He kind of is, but he's still the underdog in the story.
I guess that's true.
He's still the one you root for. And then, like, think about it this way. Joker, who is an actual villain, in his most recent origin story, which I don't think is canon to the comics, but still great. I think Zack Snyder. Who made that movie? Anyway, I don't think it was Zack Snyder, but also the underdog, even though he's a bad guy.
So many underdog stories.
Yeah. So anyway.
The Laura responded to Angela and said, the intro pages don't get enough love.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did we ever read Angela's comment?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
So I asked Angela what made her, burst into tears. She said a couple of things. First off, reading the refusal of the call page, knowing that I do more damage to myself by not heeding the call to my quest. Reading your descriptions of the pages was intense too, and I felt like maybe I would finally succeed against my dragons. That's really great.
That's so great.
Yeah,
I get like emotional about it.
The refusal to call is something that we actually weren't going to ever put in the journal. It was a stage in the hero's journey that like didn't really feel like it made sense when it came to setting a goal, and so we thought about it for months and months, and then one day, it actually came from Tim Ferriss, who is like he wrote a really popular book and he does a popular podcast now. Tim Ferriss, he wrote like The 4 Hour Work Week, Tribe of Mentors, all that stuff. He has this exercise because he struggles with anxiety and depression, and very much in the sense of like what could go wrong, like, having a lot of anxiety about making decisions and setting out on new ventures and that kind of thing. And he has an exercise that he kind of pioneered that he calls fear setting. And for his particular condition, like he finds it much more valuable to list his like fears when he wants to do something rather than his goals. And so it actually has a whole TED talk on it. That's a little more of an involved process than we wanted to like implement in the journal. That did feel a little workbooky. But especially in the earlier versions, we really, really tried to implement that level of exercise when it came to really asking the question, okay, like what's the worst thing that could happen if I set out on this quest and it doesn't go well? What's my absolute biggest fear? Is it that I'm doomed to be the same, that I'll never be able to change my circumstance. Like what's that real dark fear, that real shadow, you know? And then paired along with that is an exercise called the cost of inaction, which is what Angela explained really well. So that's kind of like the basis of the refusal to call. It's really like managing your expectations and deflating the anxiety around leaving, you know, kind of assessing like, okay, what's like trying to bring some logic into that emotional state. Like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, I spend money on this journal and I start it and I never finish it. Okay, that doesn't seem that bad, you know. Maybe I invest in a bunch of workout clothes and I never wear them. Okay, I'm financially set back. But, you know, you just kind of have to like really count the cost. And then you have to count the real cost, which is what happens if I don't go.
Yeah.
And that's very much the hero's journey. You see that. And that's why the refusal to call is so important. I'm sorry. I could talk about this forever. It's one of my favorite ingredients in every good movie and every good hero's journey. You have to have a moment, even if it's 10 seconds, you have to have a moment where the hero goes, but I don't want to. They get the call to adventure and they go, I can't do that. I have to stay home. I can't do that like I have to do. Because it's such a human emotion. And it's one of the hooks you have to land in your audience to get them to relate to your protagonist. You know, there is always a moment in a good story. There's always a moment where the hero has a moment of resistance, because humans are like that. Self-preservative, like we are like that. So we wanted to try our best to nail that on the head for some of the intro content. That was a very long rant. Sorry.
Yep.
I like push my mic away for a little bit.
I have an idea of how we could actually do an anti-heroes journal. And this is the concept. This is the ideology behind it. Is that you can't be all things to all people. And because of that, you're going to be a villain to some as you pursue the things that mean the most to you in your life. So it's not actually you being a villain, but it's being okay with the fact that there are going to be people who disagree with you in life and don't see things the way that you are. You see them, and you're going to have to give up some of those things. And I think refusal of the call, or the fear of inaction, would play really well into that. It's like, who are the people that I'm going to lose in my life if I pursue this thing? Who are the people who are going to see this differently? Coming to terms with the fact that not everyone's going to see life the way that you have it.
Yeah, LL mentioned the illustration for the cost of inaction.
It's really
and
great.
That came in a later iteration, or the most recent iteration of the journal. Yeah, Ryan did a really good job.
Cheyenne's taking credit for my monologue.
Like I think Nicole mentioned, like,
Oh yeah,
the full fear setting exercise to pay like homage to Tim Ferriss, I think, is a little too heavy for us, and it's also a bit off topic in a way.
Yeah.
It's more of a philosophical exercise, and it tends to span longer than 3 months. So we kind of cut it down to mostly focusing on the cost of inaction. And in our most recent journal, we actually took out fields. So we wanted to get people started on their quest as soon as possible. So we took out any like introduction work. But in the Astoria Magic Academy, we're bringing back the fields because we actually really like them.
Yep.
Really like the cost of inaction, writing it down. I don't think the art is as profound as the current journal. Though the current art's it's really like, hey, imagine yourself in 30 years.
It's very emotive.
Yeah, in a rocking chair and your shadow's looking at you, and this journal is all dusty and you never did anything. It's pretty intense. But
I'm gonna be the bad guy here. We could talk about this all day.
Yeah,
we gotta go. But
yeah, we do.
This was incredible. We talked about literally everything. We talked about GameStop. We talked about coffee mug. Oh, there's still coffee in there. Coffee mug memes. We talked about the journal. We talked about data analytics. We've talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about our mission for what we do. And we talked about growing. I think that's all the stuff we talked about. But
yeah.
We absolutely cherish these 90 minutes on a Saturday morning where we get to spend it with y'all, and wouldn't trade it for anything. So
yeah, it's one of our most fair traditions, I think.
Oh, and we're going to end on this. Melissa said, did you see, I mentioned a long time ago, Crocs makes Heelys. And with
We
that,
can't get into this.
and with that,
We'll pick it up next Saturday, guys.
we bid you adieu.